get some predictions, and we'll finish with the Niners last one. Even though it's the first game, we'll do that one last. Give me your thoughts quickly. Chargers, Jaguars. It's the Saturday night game, 5:15 on NBC. The Chargers are in Jacksonville, but it's the Chargers as a 1.5-point favorite. I'm picking the Chargers to win that game. Where are you there?
I think I'm leaning Jacksonville just because Mike Williams isn't going to play. He got injured in the last game that didn't count, which was a major screw-up by Brandon Staley. So I'm going to go with the surging Jacksonville Jaguars.
Their defense is playing great, and they have some athletes. I'll say this about Trent Baalke. He does draft athletes.
Defense, yeah.
So if you like big-time athletes, you'll like his teams typically. All right, Sunday morning game, 10 a.m. in Buffalo. Dolphins-Bills, divisional battle. Buffalo is 13.5-point favorites. I'm taking Buffalo. I like them to win and cover.
Yeah. They're going to win. Miami has no chance.
Yeah, that's that one. I think that's going to be an avalanche, I think, on Miami. All right, here we go. Giants-Vikings in the 1:30 game on Fox from Minneapolis and the Twins. The Vikings are a field goal favorite over the G-Men, and the Giants are kind of the sheep
at home.
At home.
Wow.
To me, Justin Jefferson wins this game all by himself, but the Giants are rugged, and I have a feeling they might play hard in this game. I think they're going to make this a game.
Picking the Vikings.
Okay.
I'm picking the Vikings. I don't think the Giants have enough talent. Richie James Jr. Daniel Jones. No.
Oh, by the way, in that Buffalo game, no Raheem Mostert.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, so that's not a good sign. Here's a tough one to predict, I think. What do you think of Ravens-Bengals? This is the Sunday night game in the 5:15 window on NBC from Cincinnati. Bengals 8.5-point favorites. Burrow to Chase is probably the best combo. And
Bengals.
But I mean, the Ravens do have a ton of experience. They did win 10 games. They are kind of a bully team. And if they get a lead, is
Lamar going to play?
No, I don't think so.
No. Yeah. I like Tyler Huntley. I like him.
I'm not even sure if Tyler Huntley's going to play.
Give me Cincinnati.
You're going Bengals. Going Bengals. All right, here's another one. Monday night, Cowboys-Buccaneers. And in a way, this game is kind of a doomsday thing because normally Monday night, you're like, hey, Monday Night Football, the nation's watching. What this means is you have one less day to prepare for the next round if you win. And that's what coaches think about. But what do you think of this one? Dallas is 12-5. The Buccaneers are kind of stumbling towards the finish. They finished 8-9, not even 9-8, 8-9. Dallas is only a 2.5-point favorite. Brady's 7-0 career against Dallas. So it's not like, Dallas has no history of beating Tom Brady. And then Prescott's been turning the ball over so much. Dallas has not won a postseason game on the road since 1992. 1992. It's a long time ago.
I'm picking Tampa. I don't like that Dallas team. I don't like Mike McCarthy. There's something off about them. I'm not even that big of a fan of Dak Prescott. I think Dak Prescott was a quarterback who was really good when he was a fourth-round pick, making $900K a year, but as soon as they gave him that mega extension, he's not carrying that team anywhere. Nah, I think there's something wrong with them, and I wouldn't be surprised if that coach gets fired after the game. I'm picking Tampa.
Wow. All right. Last one, Niners. But before that, we get a couple super chats. Jonathan Chavez making it rain again. You think Kyle's conservative nature or conservatism is holding Brock Purdy back? I don't think so. I think they're taking shots down the field.
Nothing's holding this offense back right now. At least you can see what happens in the playoffs, though.
Yeah. The Dark Azrael says, would you guys want to see a Bosa versus Bosa Super Bowl? I would. Niners. Last time the Niners got it done, it was Niners-Chargers. How about the rematch?
That would be cool.
Niners-Chargers.
That would be cool. I'm not expecting the Chargers to make it that far, but they do have the quarterback. They do.
Here's my thought on the playoffs. If you're a Niner fan, I think the one team that might be able to beat Kansas City, just because they're divisional opponents, is the Chargers. And so I'm rooting for the Chargers to knock off Kansas City. Okay. In a Herbert Mahomes awesome playoff showdown.
Yeah.
All right, we're here at
I'm
the.
rooting for the Niners to face the Chiefs again. I want
I
I
know.
want to see a rematch.
Do you?
I think
You
that would
want to
be
see
cool. I want to
Niners
see a
Chiefs?
rematch with a new quarterback. I think that would be cool. I think not that it wouldn't be legit if they didn't go through Kansas City, but to me that feels like the rivalry right now. The two best teams. Now if it's Buffalo, that's great too. That's great too. But
I can't
they have
stand.
history. It's Mahomes.
I can't stand the feeling of going against Andy Reid. It
2 weeks
just
to prepare.
feels like he toys with you.
He's good.
He's
He's the one
great.
guy who can make Nick Bosa seem not dominant. He can almost make Nick Bosa seem like a liability at times, and he's the only one who can do that stuff.
Well,
I've
look
never
at
seen anyone else do it.
And then like he kind of toyed with the Niners the last time around with the McCole Hardman stuff.
It was like he was trolling them. He's like, "Oh, I'll do your offense better than you'll do it." Yeah, it was crazy.
Right.
Yeah,
You like that? And then did you see their ring around the Rosie play the other day?
yeah, that's just disrespectful. I love that about the
That
Chiefs.
ain't right.
I like that.
That's just
Yeah.
not right.
See, to me, the Chiefs kind of feel like the Warriors, and the Niners kind of feel like the Rockets. You know, like they've been so close, but you got to take down the team that's. I don't know. I'm rooting for that. I'm rooting for that rematch. It'd be fun.
Okay. Is there okay, let's get with the prediction.
Although if it's the Bengals, that would be kind of cool too. Niners Bengals, like
Yes.
1981.
Yeah. Joe
That'd be
Burrow
kinda cool,
against Brock
too.
Purdy.
Yeah. Hey, but if it's Niners Bills, we predicted that.
That's right. I
We
predicted
did.
Niners Bills at the
We
beginning of the
did.
year. I love watching Josh Allen. I just think
Oh.
and now here's the thing about it is, doesn't it feel like if you're the NFL, if they would have any like if you're the NFL, what's the greatest story you could come up with? It's the Bills and the tragedy of DeMar and they're this up and coming team. It kind of felt like their year early in the year, and then this incredible tragedy, and they're overcoming it. I mean, they've made the Super Bowl Sunday buildup almost like an Olympic coverage type feel, where he walked 17 miles in the snow to practice, and he had all
There's
this
so much
adversity.
hype. There's so much hype.
But then
right?
you've got the 49ers led by, Mr. Irrelevant. And it's amazing. They've gone on this amazing run, and they're comparing him to Joe. And then
I know.
the tragedy of what's happened with Buffalo. And I could see, I mean, how big would that game be as far as you've got two stories there that could potentially get
those are
a
the
lot.
two top stories of the season.
They're like
Purdy and Hamlin.
transcendent type
Oh, yeah.
stories.
No question.
Like,
Purdy and Hamlin for
There
sure.
could be a Disney movie about Brock Purdy if he won this game.
Hamlin too.
And Hamlin too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
for
it's
them
like,
to meet in the same game, that'd be crazy. Although I don't think Hamlin would play, but still.
no,
For
but
him-
he
yeah,
could,
still.
maybe he could be out there.
Exactly,
The-
exactly.
The,
He
the
could- yeah.
moment could just be like the biggest thing. The NFL
Ever.
taking it to the next level.
It's true.
even.
It's true.
All right. So before the prediction, Spider Rico says missing link to the 49ers winning Super Bowls, having all-star pass catching running back. Rodgers in the 80s,
Waters.
in the 80s, Waters in the
Yeah.
90s, and now CMC. Nothing since Waters left.
It's
That
true.
is a great
It's true.
point right
It's
there.
a really good
All right.
point.
Prediction time, Grant, before we let you go. And thank you, by the way, to everybody. If you're one of the almost 1,100 people in this chat today, this is our personal record for the show. So thank you to Grant. Thank you to all of you. If you could hit like and subscribe on your way out, that would be awesome. Grant, what's your prediction for tomorrow's game? Niners Seahawks. What's it going to look like?
I'm predicting a lower scoring game. I don't believe in the Seahawks' ability to score points against the Niners, but I think the rain is going to sort of suppress what the Niners can do on offense. I think they'll get the lead early and sort of cruise and win 23-13. I think the Seahawks' best chance to win is if they just start chucking the ball deep and get lucky with some 50-50 ball catches or penalties, and I don't see them getting that lucky.
I'm going to say that the 49ers are going to I think this game is going to be slow starting, but I'm going to say 31-9.
Wow, I like
I
it.
think
A statement.
all
A statement.
all they can get is they'll get
Field
get
goals.
maybe 9 in the first half. I could see like a game that was like maybe 14-9 at half, but then the Niners go on and score 2 more touchdowns, get a field goal, win at 28-9, shut them out in
Sure.
the second half. They've been shutting teams out in the second half.
Yeah, a lot.
And what I really love about the 49ers defense more this year than last year, we hadn't really talked on this, but we've talked about this together at other times. They replaced Ward and Chikwaski. They moved Ward to the nickelback out of necessity, but they replaced him with Gibson and Hufanga. And Gibson and Hufanga don't have as good a coverage ability, I believe, but they're better ball hawks. And if you can get a lead with a big-time offense scoring 30 and get enough action up front, you want ball hawks on the back end. They have ball hawks on the back end.
It's a better compliment, right?
Yeah, it's a better compliment if you got a lead. If you don't have a lead, maybe not.
But like no offense to Jaquasi Tart, who was a good player and deserves a spot in Niners history, but on that team last year, they would have been better off with Deshaun Gibson in his role.
Yeah.
You didn't need the coverage of Tart. You needed the guy to just catch the ball when it was arm punted to him.
And the last super chat of the show, Calvin Spires says 31-24 49ers. Hawks have the ball last to scare us. Oh, man.
31-24. I don't know. Maybe I'm expecting more rain than is going to be there, but I remember I was in Chicago earlier this year. I remember that Washington game from 3 years ago when the Niners won 9-0. If it gets too rainy, you can't do things on offense. So maybe that's why I'm erring on the side of low scoring.
Here's the only thing about it, though. I think the 49ers potentially can bust big runs against Seattle. I wouldn't mind seeing, especially in the second half, I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit of, you've got all kinds of east-west action, orbit motions, and then you hit Mitchell or Mason up the gut and bust one.
That's true.
Or
but if it's raining to the point where you can't throw the ball, then teams can just stack the box without worrying about getting beat over the top. And also, if it's a slippery field, then that might negate a little bit of the effectiveness of McCaffrey, who's so good at making people miss. You might need to really more focus on Mitchell, Mason, who are not necessarily trying to make you miss as much as just run through you.
Yeah. Run.
Debo too.
Yeah. Ray too.
Yep.
Ray to the edge.
Yep.
I loved it. What game was that? Was that Washington when he hit the edge and was gone, Grant? Down the right sideline in front of the road bench.
It was
at home a few weeks ago.
I think it was Washington. Yeah, I mean, it was
just ridiculous. It was like you could
so
see
much
it. I'm
burst.
watching on the binoculars, and as he's turning the corner, I'm like, oh, he's gone. Because I saw the angle.
Yep.
I'm like, oh my God, he's gone.
And what
sure
about the
enough,
screen?
He turned that corner, there was nobody there.
What about the screen in Vegas? To the left where you the fake
screen
pitch?
there was that one. I'm talking about the actual.
No, I'm just saying,
play.
He's got multiple. And last week he didn't get any touches on offense. Can't happen. He's too good. Yeah.
They have
Stop
many
forcing the ball to Debo. Stop.
They have so many guys now. They don't need to force the ball to Debo.
No.
Yeah.
And they haven't had good results from forcing the ball to Debo this year. That was last year.
Yeah.
That worked.
Trying to get out of here, but Mark Nunez says don't go. He says, would $20 million in the bank make you less receptive to fundamentals help? Trey Lance didn't seem to agree he needed help in the offseason. Well, he definitely needed help. I don't know what he did in the offseason. I will say this, though, and I don't know how you feel about Trey, Grant. I like Trey as a prospect. I think the Niners gambled on who he is and the traits that he possesses, but he's not ready, and they drafted a player that some teams didn't even have on their board, and now they've got to develop him and either build his trade value and trade him or develop him, and it's a long-range play. It will be interesting to see what Trey and his representative, how they interpret his career and what they want out of it. If they're going to say, hey, this is a great place to be, let's stay here and let's have the long-range view, or do they say, you know what, there's 9 teams in the NFL that need a quarterback, and let me go to one of those 9 teams, and thanks, but I need to bail.
I don't think he's done enough in the league to request a trade. I don't think he's going to request a trade, which is too bad for him. But at a certain point, I think the Niners probably be better off trading him than keeping him if Brock Purdy's the one for them. Because what do you hold on? What do you hold on to him for? Just because you invested in him? Don't let his value drop even more. That's what they did with Jimmy. They kept holding on to Jimmy when they should have traded him years ago, and they would have got something good for him. And then they waited and got nothing for him.